They're
alt-right.
skinheads that hang out organizing this event.
Really? Where? I mean, he's got no hair, but I don't know.
Like,
Does he have like the?
I mean,
How do you know he's a skinhead just because he's bald?
in skinhead style, he's in a right-wing event. I mean, like, what do you?
I don't know.
Put two and two together.
It could be. It
Yeah,
could
so
be.
like, why would you associate yourself with that?
I'm not. I'm just checking it out. Whoa. I can't confirm or deny that he's a skinhead, but.
That's great advertising. I have alopecia areata. It's a medical condition that I got while I was serving in the military. So I had a backpack on that stops cell phone signals from detonating bombs under our feet, and it either gives you a big white stripe up your head, or if you, do you mind touching me? So feel it right there. Baby smooth, right? That's it right there. So I got patches in my head. So I had to shave my head because how would you rather me like have weird awkward patches in my head? That'd be weird as fuck. So I just shave it because it looks better than having patches. But no, I'm not a skinhead.
He said you were.
Technically I'm a skinhead, but I don't believe in the ideology because technically. So
He said you were wearing the getup and you had like put two and two together. He says. You know, you got the getup, and I was skeptical. I had no idea one way or the other.
no, I don't. I'm not a white nationalist. No, I'm not a white supremacist. No, I'm not. I don't believe in Hitler. Like I don't do the goose step. Like I don't do it.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason I'm bald is because I have alopecia.
I apologize for assuming.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, I actually had the same conversation earlier. It's a matter of people on our side. It's not even about hating others like his side. It's like we're just rich white people who don't have any kindness. We're genuinely standing against people who are playing identity politics. Like, just because someone is a color, you see them as evil, and we're not. We actually, honestly, we agree with like 95% of your points. We want people to get medical coverage. The only problem is when we have an issue with it is that when you have how's it going? When you have an inherent, when they quote, keep in mind, it's all verbal, right? When you have a right to something, that means you should be able to attain it without charge. Would you agree? Yeah. Like healthcare? Like you should be able to attain it without charge. All right. The only problem I have with that at all, it's not a matter of people getting healthcare. I want everyone, including, like, I know puts me at odds with a lot of Republicans. Like, I don't even mind abortions personally. Like, I personally don't have an issue with it. But that's more of a conservative opinion. But when it comes to medical requirements, like, we want you to have healthcare. The only problem we have is that when you say it's a right, that means that you have a right to someone's labor.
Well, maybe it's like you have a right to like access a willing, like it wouldn't be like
that's essentially indentured servitude. It's like you have to treat me. It's like, but I'm not being paid. I spent a lot of money to get my medical degree.
Well, they still would be paid. It would just be through like taxpayers.
But that's the problem. When you have a right to it, that means that you can force them to do that by the power of the state.
What happens if let's say a firefighter
and conservative. I mean, in general, conservative ideology is basically reducing the power of the state. Because we don't want this power of the state to be used to infringe the rights of others. That's pretty much it. We don't want it to infringe gays. We don't want it to infringe transphobic or transgenders, not transphobics. We don't. Sorry. We don't want it to infringe anybody. We want to reduce the power of the state. That's it.
So it's kind of like the language that is used around like that.
No,
About
and
considering it a
I
right.
would agree with you traditionally if their actions didn't speak louder than the words. When they are trying to utilize the power of the state to promote their own ends. They're not trying to do it. They're trying to actually do the exact same thing. Have you ever heard of the horseshoe effect? Like, I like to be right in the center, and I don't like the extreme right or the extreme left because they both do the same thing. When you have fascists on both sides, it doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal. It's just a matter of you're using the state to intimidate others to follow your ideology. And if you have a good ideology, you shouldn't have to use the power of guns to enforce it. Guns are there as a tool to simply protect yourself and protect the rights of others.
So just to sum this up, you're basically saying that universal health care, it wouldn't be good because then you're forcing people into indentured servitude and forcing them to provide medical care for...
I didn't say that at all.
But, well, that's what I'm trying to clarify.
Are we forcing firefighters into indentured servitude because they have to respond to a fire?
No, they volunteer for that.
They're paid, and that's how they want to do the healthcare. They want the government to pay for it.
That's the problem. So
that's not indentured servitude.
But all right, so let's go to a Supreme Court case. Is it the police's responsibility to protect you? Wrong. According to the Supreme Court, it is not the responsibility of the police to protect you. There was a case where someone was being attacked.
Come on,
The
man.
no,
You're
hang on.
just
The police
taking
were
hairs
called,
right now.
and they didn't show up for like hours. The person ended up dead, and when they sued because the police never responded, the Supreme Court issued the statement. No, it is not the responsibility of the police to protect you. You cannot sue them because they didn't get to you. Now, when that comes up into this idea, your job is to protect yourself. So if you try to restrict guns, it's really hard to protect yourself because it's not the responsibility of them to protect you.
So
Now, when it comes to the
Background
universal
checks.
health-
Background checks aren't really
The thing is,
restrictive.
Republicans traditionally don't deny background checks.
Yeah,
You
so
know
there's,
what?
there's really not as much disagreement as people think. You know.
The only problem we have is creating a universal registration list.
Yeah.
We don't care about background checks. We care about a registration list and keeping them on record so they can come take it back. Because let's be fair. Now, so for Democrats and like liberals all around, all right, more than likely they're going to believe in the confiscation or banning of firearms. All right, a lot of them are for assault rifles. Okay, we want to ban all assault rifles because they're scary, right? They make up 3% of gun deaths.
I think they just more want background checks, like universal
But that's the
background
thing. If you're
checks.
gonna
That's
ban
it.
if you want to ban
That's all I've
guns,
ever heard.
like
Yeah.
all guns, that's a
extended.
conversation we can have because that's a genuine
I've
ideology.
heard there's some action at the
Because
back.
guns take up this
pretty
whole
good.
stuck to the fact.